Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be looking at Spidey OG. So, a lot of people don't like this buff. I want to try and change some people's minds in this video. I was just messing around in the CCP test realm. There's a couple of very high health pool champions. There's a 7 million health Iron Fist and a 9 million health Captain America. I was testing a few champs for Necropolis. I was testing like the Zemos and the Kates and Shuri and Strife and all those. And I thought, well, may as well chuck Spidey in there, see what he can do. And he kind of really shocked me. He ended up doing a lot more damage than I thought. So I decided to boost up. I decided to go back in and record it because I figured it was worth a share. So you're going to see me get to about 9 stacks of webbing before we use our special 2. I'll go more into it a little bit later, but for now, that's only because we need to do a whole 7.7 million health pool. If you're going for shorter fights, then you really don't need that many. So this is going to be about a minute 15 ramp up. But as I said, bear in mind that that's not necessary to get this damage. It's not like you can only do this damage if you have a minute 15 ramp up. The ramp up for Spidey is all about keeping those debuffs up. When you get to 3 stacks of webbing, that's when your second stack of those debuffs will fall off and then you can't use it anymore, so you need to throw another special 1. Spidey's ramp when you're approaching a fight is all about thinking, okay, how long is this fight? How much does the champion move in their special animation, because that makes webbing fall off faster. And then using that information, you kind of say, okay, I'm going to start off with 6 special ones, or 4 special ones, or 1 special one. Whatever the length of the fight is, whatever the champion's animations are. So here with the length of the fight and Iron Fist's 3 hit special, I figure when we get to about 9, that's fine, we're good. We can start using our special 2. And that's all Spidey's ramp up is. And the last thing to mention is just boosts and synergies. I have no synergies here, this is Spidey on his own, but this is a rank 2 Sig 20 Spider-Man, and he has a 6-star Hulk relic. So, it's a pretty much as big a Spidey that you're going to find in the game right now, unless you've got a bit higher Sig. I am boosted with a 30% champ boost and a 20% attack boost. I also have the 12% special damage boost, which is, pretty standard for endgame content or war or whatever you are doing. This is Spidey pushed to his max, but if you don't boost or if you don't have the relic or, whatever, he's still going to perform very well. So we've got Spidey to his 9 webbings. We know that it's now okay to go for our special 2 and try and do a ton of damage. Speaking of damage, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to chuck a timer on the screen, and when we throw this first special 2, we'll start it. I'm going to show you how much damage he can do within 1 minute. And go. So while that's going, I'm just going to try and quickly explain how Spidey's damage works. So during his special 2, he applies a stun, and this stun reduces the physical resistance of the opponent by a certain amount during it, per taunt that you have on the opponent. And because you can end up stacking a lot of taunts on the opponent with Spidey, you end up doing a lot of damage during this stun. You can see we're managing to do like 50k mediums and 30k lights. The special 2s can hit for up to like 300,000, so it's kind of crazy. And because of that, you end up in this damage loop where we're just layering on the special 2s over and over again. After the special 2 stun expires, we bait out a special, and then we just reset and go again. And as this last stun comes to the end, that's the end of the minute, and we have just taken off 2.3 million health, which is quite a lot. To put it into perspective, that is more than Labyrinth Red Hulk, which is 1 million. A rank 2 Sasquatch boss in War has about 1 million health as well. It's not as much as like Labyrinth Star-Lord, for example, or an Abyss fight, which are about 3.3 million health. But it only takes 1 more special 2 for us to have gotten down to 58% health, which is 3.3 million damage. And we didn't even need the 1 minute 15 ramp up, or not all of it anyway, to be able to do that sort of damage. You can see we've literally only just got to 7 webbings, which means that we could have done this with a ramp up of 6 webbings at the start, which would have taken us about 45 seconds to do. So 45 seconds of ramp up to take off 3.3 million health in about 3 minutes. People say that Spidey lacks damage, and I just don't see it. But we'll go into how to use the Spidey in this cycle. So what I'm looking for is I want to get to just under 3 bars of power and then throw my special 2. The way I get up there is I will parry and then I'll do 3 lights, a medium and back off, parry, 3 lights, a medium and back off. The reason I'm doing that is because I feel it's easier to parry if you're at a distance. You don't have to predict when the AI is going to throw an attack, so you let them dash at you. Once you get to your 2.9 bars of power, you throw the special 2, and then that applies the stun. You go in, throw your combos, do a ton of damage, and then what happens next is one of 3 things, and you have to judge this in the moment. So either the opponent is on low enough power so that you can go back into another special 2, and you can do another combo, and then after that, they'll be on close to 3 bars of power, so you bait out the special 2. If they're a little bit too high, then what you should do instead is after the stun ends, you bait out the special, and then you should be able to double medium, which will get you enough power to throw off another L2. You don't need to do the combos because during that stun that you just applied, you manage to stack up a load more taunts. So you get back to another special 2 and you throw it straight away, and then you do another combo, and then you bait out another special. The last variation is if your double medium won't get you back to another special 2, just reset, go back up to 2.9 bars of power and go again, hoping that this time it does work out. It all depends on how quick the AI throws their special, it depends on when you threw your first one, it depends on how many combos you get in, etc, etc. And the last thing I'll mention is that the Petrify Mastery I have maxed in this fight, and it is incredibly useful for Spider-Man. So much of his damage is done while the opponent is stunned, so if you can reduce the power they're gaining even more, in conjunction with the suppression debuff that you have, it just means that the opponent does not gain very much power at all while you are hammering away at them. But that then concludes the fight, and we took it down in 5 minutes 40 seconds, and that's pretty damn impressive. It's mostly in line with the sort of champions that I've been testing for Necropolis, like Wong, Kate, Shuri, Zemo, those sorts of champs. It's not as fast as all of those for sure, but it's pretty damn impressive for a champion that doesn't ramp up during a fight. Spidey kind of gets to his level and stays there. His ramp up is all just how many special ones you use at the start, how long you think the fight's going to be, and like I said before, the opponent's animations. But he's managing to keep up this damage the entire time. Like, if the fight was longer, I'd have thrown a couple more special ones maybe and then gone back in. But he's keeping up this sort of damage the entire fight. His damage per second is crazy. And just in case you get into a situation where your webbing falls off during the match, or maybe the opponent starts being really annoying and just doesn't throw a special despite the taunt, it doesn't upset his cycle whatsoever to throw one more special one to stack a bit more webbing and then get right back into it. Obviously, it costs a bar of power, costs you a little bit of time, but it doesn't affect anything else in the fight. So yeah, overall, that's Spidey. He's pretty good. I'm very, very happy. I've taken him to rank 2 on the live server. I'm looking forward to using him in War this season, if it turns out that way. A lot of tactic champs are banned, but I hope you all find it just as impressive as I think it is. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully someone changes their mind a little bit on Spidey. Gives him a bit of love. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.